Well, I'll go ahead and begin then. How about that? Hey, Coach McMillan, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Not a problem. We will begin with the first question today coming from, I guess we'll start with Steve Hummer.
Well, Nate, there's so many things to touch on here, but how would you, aside from Trey, how would you judge John Collins' contribution on all fronts?
I thought he was great tonight. Tonight we had to do a good job of finding our matchups. They were switching a lot. We were patient and we found our matchups. John had some matchups in the paint and just really did a solid job of scoring when he had the matchups in the paint. Defensively, just really did a good job again, defending the ball. He had to defend 3 positions tonight. Middleton, he was on Lopez, he had Giannis, and just did a solid job. He's been consistent, and that guy who has helped us really all season long. Just another solid job by John.
Next question from Vinny Goodwill.
Nate, if my math is correct, I think this is the 6th road game you guys have won in this playoff run. That's kind of rare for a team so young. Did you see that type of poise and, the sort of don't scare mentality? Did you see it translating this way?
I felt we've built ourselves to be able to play on the road. And, I've told them that they're built for this. And, again, tonight we got off to somewhat of a slow start. I thought we just needed to get our second win. Looked like we just was running in mud that first quarter. And we just stay with it, continue to stay with it. We kind of got a rhythm, found out what they were doing defensively. We were able to take advantage of some matchups. Defensively, we brought the defense to the floor again in the second half and was able to come up with big stops. But they really just kept their poise, kept their composure, for the full 48 minutes, which is what is required in these playoff games.
All right, we're going to take a couple from the room. We're going to start with Sarah.
You guys were down. She was 7 with about 4 minutes to go. Just what was the biggest thing that got you guys back in this game and from the tide?
Well, again, we've been in this position many times, and 7-point game is really 3-possession game. We feel that we know what we need to do. We need to get stops, and we need to execute and score. And they did another solid job of executing down the stretch. Again, finding that matchup. They went to really 1 through 5 switching, and it became somewhat isolation ball. So it was just a matter of us finding the matchup that we wanted on the offensive end of the floor. And then, defensively, I thought Solomon came in and really did a nice job, defending with that small lineup going down the stretch.
I know you've seen Trey score a bunch of points before, but what impressed you most about him doing it on this kind of stage against this kind of opponent as well?
I mean, they have really good defenders, and what I respect about Trey, he's going to always stay aggressive, and he continued to stay aggressive and take his shots. And tonight, those shots were falling for him. I thought he did a good job of again, reading the defense and getting the ball and putting the ball in the hands of guys who had their matchups. John had a few matchups. Gallinari had some matchups. And so good job of reading the defense, getting us organized, and executing against their defense.
Chris with The Athletic.
Nate, what can you say about the mental makeup of this team to now win 3 straight game 1s on the road?
I just hope that they're maturing and they're showing that growth, and they start to believe in what we are doing and how we practice and condition ourselves to play. We just try to play the game the right way, play with the energy, play selfless basketball. And, always, we talk about that fist and being connected. I think that's what you're seeing from these guys going down the stretch on both ends of the floor.
Joe Barden.
Hey, Nate, I'm right behind the TV here. You said earlier that you guys were built for this when you were asked about winning on the road. But on March 1st, you were 14-20, and Trey and John weren't getting along, and there are all these problems. How hard was it to fix what was wrong at that point? And what do you mean by you're built for this now?
We just continue to condition ourselves to play this style of basketball. Aggressive defensively. We want to build two-way guys. We understand that we have depth, so we want guys, unselfish basketball. Playing the game together, and committing to each other. So those were the things that basically when I took over. That's just what I believe in. And I believe that you play the game the right way, you play the game together, you give that effort, you're going to give yourself an opportunity to win games. And they've been able to learn how to execute down the stretch. Trey continues to show growth in running a team. They continue to improve. All of them playing together. So again, it's different guys, different night. It was Kevin the other night. It was Trey tonight. John did a real solid job. Solomon didn't play much in the last game. He stepped in tonight and gave us some really good minutes. So they continue to just believe in each other and play the game the right way.
All right, Tim. It seemed like, especially early on in the game, the Bucks are pretty content to let Trey kind of get to that floater range and kind of get those shots and stick to everybody else. Was that the way you saw it? And do you think that because he had so much success with that, you guys were able to kind of dictate the way the game went from there and going away from Brooke and going small?
Well, that's their defense. Their guards do a good job of sending you to Lopez, who's deep in the paint. And, basically, that's the shot that they want to force you to make. Trey has to make a read in a situation like that, whether he has the shot or he has to kick out. And, but that's their defense. They keep their five in deep drops and, force you to try to shoot over their guards and their bigs.
But it seemed like as the game went along, they kind of switched away from that. And in part, I would assume because of the success Trey had. And do you think that some of that momentum he was able to get early in the game was part of why he was able to have so much success kind of going in those matchups and take advantage of them down the stretch also? Yeah,
I mean, they adjusted their defense to try to cover our guards who were attacking. And that's when they went to basically switching everything. Again, this is something that we have seen. We've really tried to condition our guys to be prepared for, because we talked about in playoff basketball, you're going to see this defense. And once you see this defense, now you got to find out where the ball should go, and then you got to win the matchup. And tonight we was able to win the matchups when they went to their switching defense.
Okay, we're going to take one question from the room. Steve, then we'll turn over to the Zoom room.
Colin, 19 rebounds, stuff with that Charlotte had pretty good. Their team that surprised themselves on under the board, +6 rebound margin. Just how big was the rebound in general?
It's key. They are an elite offensive rebounding team, and that is a major key for us to rebound the basketball. And tonight, I thought we gave up some offensive rebounds in that first quarter, really the first half. And we started to clean it up and we won the boards, but we got to do it a better job of rebounding the basketball, because they do a great job. Their guards get in there and they fight for those extra opportunities. The bigs are tapping it out for extra possessions. So we got to do a better job on the boards, and we got to do a better job of keeping the ball in front of us. I mean, we gave up 70 points in the paint tonight, and I think our defense can be better than that. It needs to be better than that.
Jeff Schultz from The Athletic.
Nate, you referenced the road wins earlier. This is the third straight series that you opened on the road with a win. Obviously, you didn't have a full strength bogey. You've had other issues. It doesn't seem like anything phases your players. Have you ever been involved with a team at all like this where nothing seems to phase them? It doesn't really seem to matter what the odds are or what people say.
We've talked about that from the beginning, Jeff. Just you can't listen to the outside noise, good or bad. So we know that the next game is going to be even harder, and we're going to have to play better to get that win. And that is our focus. Each night we come out and play. We want to give everything that we have, and we want to execute out there. And whatever the result, whether we win or we lose, we'll look at tape tomorrow. There's a lot of room for improvement. We're going to need to be better. And that's our mindset, not listening to what folks are saying that we can or cannot do. It's all about us, the guys that's in the room. Those are the guys that's going to get it done. And, that's the approach that we have taken.
Is there a ceiling for your team?
I don't know. We're going to just continue to try to come out and be better than we were in our last out.
Mark Schwartz from ESPN.
Hey, Nate. Trey is taking a master's class right now against world-class defensive teams, world-class individual defensive players. And this is his first playoff run of his career. And he's doing it at such an elite level. What is it that allows him to conquer every challenge with such poise at this time of year in his first go around?
Well, I think he just has the skill that these top players have in this league. You have to put him with the top guys in the league. He really doesn't have a weakness on the offensive end of the floor. He can shoot from deep. He stretches the floor. He has a mid-range game. He will pass the ball, find his teammates. He shoots free throws well. So he's seen all the defenses that teams have played against him, and we've talked about this throughout the season. He's seen a box and one. He's seen bigger defenders. He's seen physical defenders. He has seen teams trap and try to get the ball out of his hands. And this is part of the growth that he has to go through. And the good players, they go through this and they learn from it. But they don't allow the different coverages to take them out of their game. They still find ways to be productive. And Trey has been able to do that.
Would you say he has met or maybe even exceeded your expectations of what he could do on this stage in his first go around?
I think he's a young player, so there's a lot more room for growth for Trey. This is his first time in the playoffs, and as I basically working with him during the season, I really felt he was built for this time of the season. He's a fearless player. He's a confident player, and he's a kid that every second that he's on the floor, he's giving it to you. He's given everything that he has, and So I really feel that his game, his style of play is really built for this time of the season.
James Hill.
Nate, there's something special about your ball club. Can you talk about the intangibles? And again, they're able to go on the road, get that first one again, and then just kind of set the foundation for a great series.
I don't know. I love working with these guys. They bought into what we've tried to give them as far as the mindset that they need. Establishing their style of play. They've committed to being better. They've committed to being to each other, and all these guys are sacrificing to make this team better. And they've done that. They've been doing it, and they continue to do it. And again, I think a lot of teams, really all NBA teams, have a lot of talent. But when you get a team that is committed to each other, playing the game the right way, playing the game for each other, playing the game to win, you got something special there. And I really do feel that we do have something special with this group.
Coach, in closing, Clint, can you talk a little bit about him hitting the glass and competing on the boards?
Yeah, well, he had the assignment tonight of, he leave the Philadelphia series guarding Embiid, and tonight he had Giannis. We believe in him. He's been the anchor to our defense. Both guarding the ball, help defense, rebounding the basketball, setting screens, freeing up the ball. He's just such a big part of this team and how we try to attack. He's become, a really important part to the success of this team.
All right, we'll do two more. Chris Kirschner with the Athletic.
Nate, since you've taken over, what have your conversations been like with Trey, just about his leadership abilities on and off?
We're just talking to him about it, from one point guard to another, and a young, talented point guard. I've been in his position before. I certainly don't have the talent that he has on the offensive end. And basically, this team was an organization is trying to take that next step. He is a big part of this organization taking the next step because he is the guy that is going to lead us to that style of basketball. So there's a lot of conversation on, good and bad, as far as watching film and, talking about things that happen out on the floor and really giving him more control to run the team. I think in the last starting probably the last series, he's calling most of the plays. And I want that because I want him to have a feel for what's going on, how to get his teammates involved. And he's done a really good job of doing it.
As a point guard, how important is it to have that leadership where not only you can run the offense and call out plays, but to have that ability to get your teammates to trust in you to be that leader?
Well, basically, he has to show that growth, and he has to show that trust in his teammates, and he's done that. He's done that with Bogey. He did it the other night with Kevin. Getting Kevin the ball late in Game 7. Tonight, taking his, while being aggressive, he saw that we had matchups in the post, and he made sure that John and Gallo had the ball. So it's really adapting to, as we talk about conditions, especially in the fourth quarter, he's been able to slow down and and manage that fourth quarter by adapting to conditions. And he's doing a good job of getting us organized and executing.
All right, Coach, your final question is going to come from Sarah Spencer.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask, kind of how you would assess Bogey and how he's feeling on that knee. He doesn't look fully himself, but obviously he's trying to give you everything.
He is giving us everything. And, you know, it's pretty obvious that there's some soreness there. But again, this is the way this team has been built. He does not want to sit out. You know, he's trying to give us whatever minutes he can give us. And it really has helped us the last few games, being able to have him out there because he's still a threat. And, you know, but these guys have been doing this all season long.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
All right.
All right, we have Trey coming right now.